Hey, good morning. It's Bob from Trade Genius, the 9th of December again. I just have a lot to talk about today. So, actually, what I'm going to talk about now is I know mere mortals trade stocks and bonds, Fred Flintstone in the crypto age, but there's some great opportunities here as well. And I just want to point out the trades that we're in, where we got in, and, what a difference a day makes in terms of at least my portfolio on the stock side. So I went ahead and started to buy and average into AG, and so I made my initial purchase here, and my next purchase was actually going to be at 623, and it didn't get there, and so I have a half position in AG and got a big push. I think what's going to happen now is cryptos are kind of leading the way. I think there's a recognition event that the government it's impossible for them to ever pay these debts back. So people are going to scramble for what they call hard assets, and crypto right now is the hardest asset because it's the enforced scarcity that the algorithms and the shared ledger, the nodes, the community, the consensus, whatever the buzzword is for the day, is enforcing that scarcity onto the marketplace. And gold and silver for 5,000 years owned that right, but cryptos has some advantages over gold and silver. But by all means, gold and silver, do not discount them. Okay, in 2010, 2011, when we had the last burst of movement in gold and silver, you could trade options and make the same kind of returns you're making with cryptos right now. And I think those days are upon us again. They can't keep their fingers in all the dikes. The bankers and the governments way overplayed their hand. They oversuppressed commodities in their attempt to create this benign environment, and it's starting to leak out all over the place. So, for me, for AG, I love to trade AG. It's at the bottom of the channel. This is a complete retrace of its original move higher, and so I'm buying here, and I'm looking for a move up to here right now, and waiting for my my trade signal to officially hit on the daily. But when it gets down to this level here, this is definitely way oversold, kind of like the linear regression line I show in the trading view account. This is a volatility based line, and this is very powerful. When something gets to the bottom of this channel like this, you usually get a pretty good bounce. So that's AG, and we own AG. Okay, another trade that we just got out of, in fact, it's just enforced targets. One of the things that I've really been struggling with this year is because volatility is so low, is anytime something breaks out, they tend to bring it back in really hard. And since I run a signaling service, a lot of people are impatient in terms of, hey, I want to get my gains. I don't understand why things come back. I don't understand why things return. So I enforce targets on this. And what happens is I bought this, and one of the things I did not do this time is sometimes I set my stops too tight, and I didn't this time, and I left the stop right here where my my trend change dots are here. And even when it pushed up, I didn't move it up. I just left it be, because they have a tendency to catch these in reverse, and that's exactly what happened. And so I turned a trade that was just missed my target last time, came back down. I was down 5% on this thing, and then boom, closed it out. This is a 14% move today, so profitable trade for us. We're out. It's probably going to continue, but if you were owning this thing, you would probably watch it come to here and then come up to here. But be that as it may, profitable trade for us on the ETF side. Okay, dust, we just entered a dust puts here. Okay, I entered it here. Okay, this is extremely overbought. One of the things too is, and you think I would learn my lesson because I went ahead and recommended you guys. I'm a much better trader shorting triples than I am buying triples, and so you'll never hear me recommend a triple buy ever again. I get caught up in the emotion sometimes too with people, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go for it. And now I'm sitting nursing a UGAS trade that I probably shouldn't even have been worried about. I should have been working on putting my cold put on. But live and learn. Sometimes you're human. But this is a trade that pays us and has paid us many times in the past. And so looking here, and I'm looking for this thing to come right back down, minimum to here, okay, and likely to here, and I think it's going to happen here fairly quickly. Whenever these triples get so far above moving average, above the VWAP line, that it's ripe for a move down. And slippage works in your favor here. So we have this trade on right now. It's pretty much just close to even, but I have 2 weeks for it to play itself out. Okay, FCG is one of my longer holds. I'm definitely an energy bull for the reasons I started this conversation on. I think we have not had the big energy breakout yet in this bull market. I think it's been suppressed. Part of it is because all the drilling and production in the U.S. and there's been a bit of a glut, but people are going to use oil. You got to realize, people are going to buy cryptos, people are going to buy gold and silver, but really, really, really big money will go into oil, okay? Because it has, its use case is that it has a utility that people need it and will consume it. So people will hold this as a store of value, and especially if the dollar starts getting volatile or there's war, you'll see this thing move up. But they have not been able to suppress oil. They've been trying to bring oil down. They cannot. And I think once natural gas turns, and I'll get to that in a second, is that these energy names will fly. And I'll show you one of them that we're in today that is giving truth to that. So I'm in this. It bounced right up the VWAP line. I sell calls against my position here, but I'm looking for a move into the mid-20s on FCG. Okay, so I'm waiting. I want to see this break right here on cold, and then, like I said, I have some UGAS that's pretty good underwater, and I'll slowly leak out of that, and I'm going to buy cold puts, and I'm going to probably buy probably the 38s, maybe 39s for January, and I'm expecting coal to push down here pretty hard. And I'll do a thing on natural gas here later this weekend too, what's driving the price and the suppression and how that's not going to be able to hold. And I think we're going to get a good trade on. I think it's going to go from $45 to $30 in the next 6 weeks. Here's Noble. As I'm saying, Noble Energy. We own Noble, and we bought it down in here, and I'm holding it. My target on this is actually 28. Okay, and just a massive push today, and I think this is telling us that that energy is going to get a bid. This has been suppressed pretty hard. I like when they push things down below the VWAP, okay, and then it blazes back up again. It tested below again. It's back up. Now that the test is if it could break 27.5. If it does that, I'm still going to get out at 28 because I just roll my money into the next opportunity. But I think Noble, if it goes, is just going to keep going higher. Okay, RNN is just my play for a gap fill here, and Biotech starting to get a bid into the end of the year, so I'm just going to wait. I mean, very little money against this, so I'm just kind of watching it and see if I can catch a nice 50-60 cent move here, and I'll hop off. So just totally a lottery ticket. Okay, we bought SILJ yesterday, $9.99. Again, look, it's just incredibly below its volume weighted average price. This is 10% below. This is probably like 15% below. Absolutely been pushed down. The problem is these futures markets allow the banks just to shovel contracts in that they don't own, just to shake people out so they can buy this stuff on the cheap. The Wizard of Oz movie was made about when they were doing this crap. When that movie was made and how they the bankers from New York and Chicago. That's how they cheated the farmers. They would just drive the price of the crops down to where it's unprofitable, force the farmers out so they can buy up their lands. So this is no different. That's what they're doing here. They just force these producers to puke up things using fake money. But I think the turn is happening. So I also bought SILG, and my expectation is my target's going to be up here at 12 for now. So I'm looking for a 20% move. Okay, you guys, it's so my nemesis. I even scaled in this time, and I still got blown up, but I held. And so I'm just going to work my way out of the problem. Officially, we got out at 8, but I personally held, just so everybody knows, for accountability's sake. And so I need $3.13 in the next couple weeks on this on price of natural gas for me to break even on this trade here. But bear in mind, I'm also day trading the futures on it. So I've been chipping away at my cost of the natural gas trade. But just to be clear, this trade did not work. And so it's hard to get back on these triples. I'd have been better off just buying some coal puts, defined risk. And if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. But natural gas is going to go higher. This is we've now pushed in a speculative short interest territory in the futures market, and they tend to get blown out. So we'll see. Okay, USO, I just watch it for oil. They're just not able to break this down. It's forming a rectangle here, and if it breaks, if USO breaks 1179, okay, then it's going to go up higher by the same distance this triangle is. So you're looking at probably a 10% potential move coming in oil if it breaks this channel. Okay, but this does not look bearish to me at all. And they've been calling for oil down, oil down, oil down, and they're not able to do it. So something's up. I think it's the inflation expectations are getting built in. Okay, UVXY, this is the no-brainer moneymaker. We got into puts on this. And the trade is second Thursday of the month. Just start putting the trade on, and by Friday of next week, you'll amass really good gains. We've already doubled our money on the puts, and already rolled them down, and so it worked out really well for us. Still in it, so I rolled my 13 and down to 12s, and now I'm just kind of waiting on it to see what next week brings. But the Santa rally's on, so this can push down for another week after that too, but take a day at a time. Same with VXX. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep UVXY on, so I also bought VXX, and I actually bought it first thing Friday morning, and instantly is profitable on this trade too. And for the same reason, I also sold call spreads against VXX for next Friday in my income portfolio, and I'll be posting those out on Twitter feed too, so you can see. I'd like to do 1 or 2 of these a week, and I stopped doing them for a while because the market was so relentlessly moving up with volatility so low. But now the market's starting to wiggle some, so it's becoming profitable to put those trades back on. I never sell puts, I only sell calls, and because the market goes down, it's just going to rip right through your positions. Harder for it to rip up, even though it does occasionally. And XBI, we have calls on XBI. We've been buying it since we bought right here. We bought 82s. We got them for 60 cents. Okay, and then as it rolled up, we bought 83s, and when it went up, we bought 84s. So we took profit out all along. Then it came back really hard here, and put in a hammer, and just left it alone. It came right back up again. So trade's profitable, and we locked the profit in because we sold the 85s against this 84 position. So we simply can't lose any money on the trade now. My expectation is that this Biotech's going to push up, is going to challenge these highs. So I'm just going to manage the sold call position. If it gets to 85, I'll roll my sold call position out, and then I'll roll my 84s that are expiring Friday up and out as well. So that's kind of what we are. I'll talk about a little bit about some opportunities for next week on the next video. But thanks for listening. TradeGeniusAcademy.com. We're running specials where you can get the crypto room and the ETF room and software all for one bundle. So if you're interested in trading, normal things, we have that as well. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye-bye.